Kia ora guys, welcome to part 2 of the Bluetooth speaker design video. So we should be up to this stage here. We've got a box and yeah, it's got how many sides? 6 sides. It's pretty cool. Now we want to draw the speakers. So we've got the 2 speakers and the passive radiator on the front here. And we want to go to the back and we want to draw something for the switch and the USB plug. So that's what we're going to do in this video. Over here on my drawings, I've got a couple of measurements. So here's the back measurements for the USB plug and also the switch. And up here we've got the measurements for the speaker holes and the passive radiator speaker. So I'll just give you the measurements, but here you can kind of see them if you want to sort of know yourself. No, I don't want to. Okay, so let's go back to our front. So I'm going to move around. Let's go click the home button and click on the front view. So I'm looking straight on and I want to create a new sketch, and obviously I want to draw on my front, so I'm going to click on the front. Now I'm going to go to sketch and I want to go line. And before we draw any lines, I'm going to come over to construction over here and I'm just going to check my construction box. So it's going to give me dashed construction lines, so we don't get too confused with real lines and construction points. So if you put your mouse over here and search for the X with the triangle, that means that's the center point. So if you click it and then drag it across, it should snap into a line right across, and you can draw a line which is a center line all the way across the center. Should work on the top as well. So up here you got the triangle, click again, drag down, and then click. And they'll give you just 2 center point lines, which helps you align everything so it looks good and symmetrical. So let's click on the construction button again. We don't need to have it now. Come over to sketch and come to circle. We're going to draw a center diameter circle, or you can click the C button on your keyboard. And make sure that when you're drawing the circle, it locks on to our center line that we just drawn. Click once and then drag out. And what we want is 40 millimeters. So you can see 40 millimeters there, or you can type it in, click enter again, and that is locked in at 40 millimeters. And you'll see that there's a little white dot in the middle. You can drag the circle along and it should stay on that line because we drew it on that line, which is cool. So we've got this circle here. I can easily replicate it without having to draw another circle, and I do this by coming up to sketch, mirror, and I'll click on the blue line of the circle first. So I'm going to click that, and you'll see objects 1 selected over here. Click on mirror line and go select, and my mirror line is going to be this middle line here that we drew. So let's click on that and then click OK. And now we've got 2 circles. So whenever I move this, that one moves out at the same point. So they're both going to be symmetrically equidistant from each other from the center point. So if I go right in, they'll be like that. If I go right out, they'll be like that. So it's a really good way and easy if you want to make quick changes on one, that the other one will change with it. Okay, let's draw the passive speaker now. So the way to draw that is we start off with a 2-point rectangle. So let's click on that and let's just draw a rectangle in the center. Don't worry too much about the measurements yet. So click D, click on this line, click on this line, and it should put a measurement into there. Let's click it and go 17. We'll do the same for the bottom one. So click the middle line, click this bottom line, drag it out, click 17, hit enter. Okay, so that's 34 mil away from each other. We're going to click this line and this line, drag it up, and that's going to make that 70. Cool. Now you'll see it's not in the center, so we can easily change that by making this to this line here. So we just go half of 70, which is 35. So let's make this 35 and put that in there. Now you can see all the lines are black. That means they're locked in place. Yeah, let's hit escape button on your keyboard. Let's go up to fillet. So we give these corners a curved look. And then just come over, click on this first corner, and we're going to make it 17. So it should radiate all the way down to our center point. Now don't hit enter yet, just click on the other corners first. So all corners, click on the white dot, and then we can click enter. So we know that this point here is in the center. Now I'm pretty happy with the speakers. They could probably come in a little bit. So I don't know. Let's see how they look. I think they look pretty good like that. So I'm going to leave them like that. Now if we hit the extrude button, we can now click on each drawing. 1, 2, 3. Let's go into our 3D mode like this. And then what we want to do is we want to push it this way so it cuts. It's going to cut out the material. Now I'm going to quickly show you a little trick on how to change it so that if you change the thickness, it will change the cut size. So if we turn off the back piece by clicking this little part here, and then I'm going to go into our 3D mode and then go all the way onto the other side. So we're looking inside the box now. I'm going to change extent here and go to object, and I'm going to click on this part here, so the back side of my front piece, and then I'm going to click OK. And what that's done is that it has cut out those holes for us, so we can see what it's kind of going to look like once you cut those holes out. Now that's cool. Now we need to do the back piece.